Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time again to look at our college football games we have coming up for week 2 of the 2025 college football game. This is going to be our quick picks. This is for the people. You got a busy schedule. We're going to run through all of our top 25 matchups as quickly as possible, give you our predictions on who's going to win, lose, the final score, and we'll also touch on the best bets. First things first, though, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, leave them below. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your picks this week? Leave it in the comment section. I will respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. We go over every game every week this entire season, so make sure you like and subscribe to follow along. Let's not waste some more time. Let's start running through these games. The very first one we have 12 p.m. Saturday, September 6th, 1-0 Iowa Hawkeyes versus number 16 Iowa State 2-0. Iowa Hawkeyes, the offense under Ferentz continues to struggle. They continue to run a 1970 offense. No matter who the coordinator is, no matter who the quarterback is, that stays consistent. They're going up against Iowa State. Rocco Beck back for his third season as a starter in college football. This team is playing really good baseball. 65.4% chance to win. They are 3-point favorites. Over under 41.5. Iowa State 39.5 points a game through the first two games, giving up 14. They're throwing 245. They're running for 177. I got to go with Iowa State to roll here, but you have to respect Kirk Ferentz and that elite defense Iowa always has. The defense will probably keep it close for the majority of the game, but I'm going to go with Iowa State continuing to roll. Matt Campbell, disciplined team. They win this one 20-17. And at 12 p.m., 1-0 FIU versus number 2 Penn State, 1-0, 98.1% chance to win. They are 41.5-point favorites. Massive spread. The over-under is 54.5. You know Penn State, very, very talented team. A lot of vets, a lot of experience in this lineup. You have James Franklin. You have Drew Waller, Singleton, Allen, Pena, a lot of veterans, the best running back 1-2 combo in the nation. They're averaging 46 points a game, giving up 11. They're going to have a top 10 defense every single season. This is the year maybe their experience gets them a Big Ten championship, might even get them to the national championship. Give me Penn State continuing to roll here. They win this one 52-7. And also at 12 p.m., 0-1 San Jose State versus number 7, the Texas Longhorns, 0-1, losing that game 1 to the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's still a good loss overall. You never want to lose. Arch Manning, you got to get things back on track. Steve Sarkisian, this is your third year in the system. You got to be a lot more comfortable than that. We have to get more aggressive with the play calling. Texas, though, a top 5, top 3 overall roster. They will be just fine. A lot of easy cupcake games to get everyone back in line. Texas has a 98.8% chance to win. 36.5-point favorites, 52.5 over under. San Jose State only 14 points last game. Texas 7, giving up 17. But you know their defense is elite. The talent is there. Texas, you got to get hot before you get into SEC play. You still have a long road here. You will probably still make the playoffs. Texas gets the offense back on track. They win this one 48-13. And a very competitive game at 12 p.m. on ESPN. Number 11, 1-0, the Fighting Illini. They're saying this is the 2025 version of Indiana from last year. They'll be playing 1-0 Duke Blue Devils at Duke's home stadium. Manny Diaz, good defense. Mensa transferred over as the quarterback. He can run. He can sling it down the field. Duke a 50.6% chance to win. The Fighting Illini 49.4. Duke's the underdog though. Illinois 3-point favorites. Over-unders 49.5. This is a Brett Bielema team. They're going to be tough. Luke Altmaier at the quarterback position, third year starting here. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play defense. Do not underestimate Duke at home. They threw for 389 last week, ran for 159, but the Fighting Illini, they are physical. Big Ten versus ACC. To me, this game is honestly a 50-51. Call me crazy. I'm going to go with the Duke Blue Devils pulling off the close upset here at home, 26-23. And our next game on the ACC network, 0-1 East Texas A&M versus number 14 Florida State 1-0. Florida State coming off of a complete throttling of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Maybe it's an overreaction, but they jumped from unranked all the way up to number 14, but give Norvell props, give Gus Malzahn props, give Castellanos some props. They were running all over Alabama. They out-physicaled them. They have a 98.6% chance to win this. This is FBS versus FCS, so there's no spread till that day. Florida State, though, they ran for 230 on Alabama. They threw for 152. They dominated at the line of scrimmage. Continue that momentum as you get into SEC play. I have Florida State winning this one. They might be an underdog in the ACC. They win 55-13. And a very fun one, the battle for the state of Texas at 12 p.m. 0-1 Baylor coming off a very close loss versus Auburn, but how about Robertson? He was slinging up and down the field, 419 yards last week. They'll be playing number 17 SMU at SMU. SMU a 66.9% chance to win. They are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under 65.5. There's probably going to be a buttload of points scored in this game. Baylor, 419 passing yards, 64 rushing. Concentrate on the running game. SMU, Rhett Lashley, talented offense. Jennings, he's a mobile dual-threat quarterback. He has to be accurate here. He has to be prepared to score every single possession. It could be a shootout. They had 42 last week, gave up 13. A lot of transfer portal players. Do not underestimate Baylor on the road. Very talented team. Underdog, dark horse to potentially win the Big 12, but give me SMU winning this one at home, 34-28. But like I said, that is a 50-50 game. Be very cautious with it. And also 12 p.m., 0-1 Kennesaw State versus number 23 Indiana, 1-0. This is Kirk Cignetti's team. He says it all the time. All the guy does is win. They did win last week, but not the best overall win. Only like 27 points versus Old Dominion. You got to do a little better than that. They have a 94.6% chance to win this one. 35.5-point favorites, 52.5 over-under. They only gave up 14. They have a lot of transfers here. Mendoza, he has to get a little more comfortable in this system. It will come with time. Hemby, pretty good running back. Continue to be aggressive on offense. Push the ball down the field. Open up the run game, which will in turn open up the play action. Indiana will win this game. They are by far the better team. They win 34-17. And at 12 p.m., 1-0 Kent State versus number 24 Texas Tech, 1-0, 98.2% chance to win for Texas Tech, 48.5-point favorites, 58.5 over under. Texas Tech, the number one transfer portal class, Morton at the quarterback, returning for another season. This guy's going to be a gunslinger all year. They had 67 points last week. They might get 60 again this week. They only gave up 7. They threw for 314. They ran for 294. That's about as balanced as it gets. There's a massive talent disparity here. Texas wins this one. Get the starters out as soon as possible. Keep them fresh for next week. Texas Tech wins 62-17. 12:45 p.m., 1-0 Utah State versus number 19 Texas A&M Aggies, 1-0, a 96.2% chance to win. The Aggies are 29.5-point favorites. They are at home, College Station. The over-under is 53.5. The Aggies, 42 points last week. They gave up 24. Not the best showing, but this is a Mike Elko team. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to run the ball. They have Marcel Reed, 289 yards passing. Davis at running back. Craver, a lot of weapons here. They're going to suck up time of possession. They're going to out-physical you. They will own the second half. The Aggies win this one 42-18. And at 3:30 p.m., we have on the Big Ten Network, Grambling visiting the new number 1, the Ohio State Buckeyes, coming off that win versus the Texas Longhorns. You got to get Sayan even more comfortable in the system. He should be getting better week by week. This is a cupcake game as they get in the Big Ten play for him to be well-oiled. Ohio State, 99% chance to win this one. Grambling last week, 55 points, gave up 7. Ohio State, 14 points, gave up 7. But obviously, they were playing a extremely good defense. That's not going to be the case here versus Grambling. Look for the Buckeyes to have their way here. They'll be able to throw. They'll be able to run. They'll get a lot of tackles for a loss. Their defense will do what their defense does. The Buckeyes win this one 58-6. And on ESPN Plus at 3:30 p.m., 1-0 Austin Peay. Will they have a chance to beat number 4, the Georgia Bulldogs, 1-0? Highly, highly unlikely. Georgia, 99% chance to win. 45 points last week. They gave up 7. They threw for 249. They ran for 239. Gunnar Stockton as the starting quarterback. First season as the full-time starter, permanently going forward. Mobile quarterback. That should help the run game in ways that Carson Beck was not able to do last season. They have a very good wide receiver core now. A lot of transfers coming in. Zachariah Branch, keep your eye on him out of the slot position. Georgia, they might even have a shutout this game, but they win this one 55-9. And this is actually a pretty cool out-of-conference matchup. 3:30 p.m., 1-0 Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy, one of the longest-tenured coaches in the country, versus number 6, the Oregon Ducks, 1-0. Oregon, 93.3% chance to win this one. They are at home. They have Dan Lanning, an extremely talented roster. Might be a top 5 overall roster in the nation. 28.5-point favorites. 57.5 over under. Oklahoma State, not the best showing last week. They got to get that offense back on track. It's been 2 or 3 seasons since they've been able to consistently move the ball. Oregon, Dante Moore, what a showing he had as the full-time starter last week. Looks like he might be the next great Oregon quarterback. They're winning him. Weapons up and down the field, and they are the more physical team at the line of scrimmage. 59 points last week. They threw for 253. They ran for 253. That is a legit 50-50 statistical split. Ducks win this game. They win the out-of-conference matchup. They get ready for Big Ten play. They win 45-16, and they dominate the trenches. 3:30 p.m., 1-0 Troy versus number 8, the Clemson Tigers, 0-1, 92.4% chance to win for the Tigers. They lost at home last week to LSU. They must rebound here. The defense played great. The defense has Allen leading it. You have Dabo. You have Garrett Riley. Year 3, Klubnik, you looked pretty bad last week. You are a, 3 or 4 year starter right now. I need to see improvement. 36 touchdowns, 6 picks last season. You looked pretty bad last week, but I have faith that you will play better as the season goes along because you also started out last year pretty slow. 33.5-point favorites, 51.5 over under Clemson. They only ran for 31. Their leading rusher right now is a wide receiver committed to being a running back. That's not going to cut it. You have a great O-line. Figure out the run game. The run game is going to open up that play action. A very talented young wide receiver core. Give me Clemson winning this one. The offense showcasing some skills. They win 48-14, and the defense also dominates. Next, we have SEC play starting out at 3:30 p.m. Number 20, Ole Miss, 1-0. You had Simmons taking over. Simmons did not miss a beat, perfectly filling in for Jackson Dart from last season. They won that game. They won that game big. You know Lane Kiffin. You know they're going to score points. They always start out the season. Their offense is just curb stomping people. They are 10-point favorites. 50.5 over-under. They're playing number 1-0, the Kentucky Wildcats, with a 16.4% chance. Mark Stoops, do not underestimate this team. They beat Ole Miss last season. For some reason, these teams always have extremely close games. Stoops, they always have a very talented defense. They always keep it score very close first half, but Ole Miss should be able to pull away second half. They want some revenge from that catastrophe last season. Right now, they're averaging 63 points. I have Ole Miss wearing this team out. They own the second half. They win it 33-17. And then you have another FBS versus FCS zone no spread here, 3:30 p.m. We have East Tennessee State versus number 22 Tennessee Volunteers. Want to know Tennessee, 99% chance to win, 45 points a game, giving up 26. Coming off of beating Syracuse, Joey Aguilar, he's only been on this team for like 3 days. He showed out last week. Props to them. Josh Heupel, one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. You know he's going to adapt his play calling to the skill set on his team. He did that perfectly this past weekend, throwing for 247 or running for 246. You can't ask for better. Tennessee wins here. They roll 62-13. And this next game is an under the radar, really good one at 4:15 p.m. 1-0 USF coming off of beating ranked Boise State last week versus number 13 1-0 Florida Gators. A battle for the state of Florida. The Gators 82.7% chance to win. They are 17.5-point favorites. 56 over under. Respect USF and what they did last week. Brown, they were running the ball consistently, 34 points a game, but the Gators shut out Long Island. Yes, it was Long Island last week, but they have some momentum. They cannot afford to lose this game. They have the most difficult schedule I've ever seen in my life. They need to win every single out-of-conference game they can before they start that gauntlet of an SEC schedule. They have LSU coming up. Miami, it's going to get rough. Give me the Gators winning this one, 35-20. Might be close first quarter, but they'll pull away. And 6 p.m. on ESPN, plus you have Cal Poly versus number 25 Utah 1-0. Kyle Whittingham, this guy's been coaching forever here. One of the more underappreciated coaches. He's a good one. 99% chance to win. Utah last week, 43 points a game. They threw for 206. They ran for 286. They gave up 10. Kyle Whittingham, elite defense, special teams, their discipline. Now they finally have a quarterback who is healthy. Dampier, he was all over the place last season, running, throwing. If he can stay healthy, this is a Utah team to watch. They cruise here. 50-10. 7:30 p.m. on ESPN plus 0-1 Bethune-Cookman on the road versus number 5 1-0 Miami coming off of beating Notre Dame. What a game that was. Carson Beck, hey, having a veteran quarterback paid off. I love it. We hit that score on the head, 27-24. Miami, 99% chance to win this one. They're averaging 27, giving up 24. Throwing for 205, running for 119. You know Miami, elite defense potentially this season, a top 5 offensive line. They have wide receivers, tight end. They have the quarterback. They're going to cruise here. This is an FCS team. Miami wins. Get the starters in as quick as possible. Keep everyone healthy. They win 48-10. So many FCS games. 7 p.m. You have South Carolina State 1-0 versus number 10 South Carolina 1-0. Coming off that win versus Virginia Tech, I need to see some more from this South Carolina offense. Sellers, he's a potential Heisman frontrunner. They have a 99% chance to win. They scored 24. They gave up 11. I want to see that run game dominate. Only 119 on the ground versus Virginia Tech, who doesn't have the best defense, but obviously they're going to own this game, get everything worked out. Once they get in SEC play, they might be an underdog to not just compete in the SEC, but potentially get a playoff spot. South Carolina wins 58-7. And how about 7:30 p.m. ESPN plus LSU jumping all the way up to number 3. They'll be hosting Louisiana Tech 1-0. LSU number 3 1-0, 97.2% chance. They are 37.5-point favorites, 51.5 over under. I hate all these massive spreads this week. There's so many cupcake games. Louisiana, 17 points a game, giving up 10. Coming off that win versus Clemson, Nussmeier throws some of the best deep balls we will see this season. Elite wide receiver core. Blake Baker, year 2, the defense is better. Brian Kelly, they were throwing for 246, running for a 108 versus an extremely talented defense. They're going to have a field day here versus La Tech. They win 49-10. 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2. Number 12 Arizona State 1-0 made the playoffs last season, won the Big 12 versus 1-0 Mississippi State. Mississippi State, you are 1-0. This might be the only time you're above 500 this season. Right now, Arizona State, 54.3% chance. This is Big 12 versus SEC. Big 12 would love to win this. Arizona State, you want an SEC win. Even though it's versus Mississippi State, take whatever you can get. Right now, they're 6.5-point favorites, 59 over under. Sam Levitt, one of the better younger quarterbacks in college football. They don't have Cam Scatterby. That's a massive loss here. He was the leading rusher last week. I don't want to see that happen again. The running game needs to step up. You have Tyson there as your legit wide receiver number 1. Get that running game involved. You don't want Levitt getting hurt. You don't want him running too much. I have Arizona State winning this one, 34-26. You know Jeff Lebby's going to get his points still. This is the game of the week. This is the game day game. 7:30 p.m. We're going to have Michigan versus Oklahoma. Both teams want to know Michigan number 15, Oklahoma number 18. The Sooners 53.5% chance to win at home. Oklahoma 5.5 point favorites. 46 over under. You have Oklahoma, Brent Venables under a lot of pressure. Work the portal. They're going to have an elite defense this season. They're built at the line of scrimmage. They brought over John Mateer, number one transfer portal quarterback. They brought over Arbuckle with him as the offense coordinator. They're going to score some points. He threw for 392 last week. First week with the team. Michigan, true freshman quarterback, making his second start on the road at Oklahoma. That's a tall task here to ask him to go to Oklahoma, win this game. He threw for more yards than any quarterback did for Michigan last week. Props to him. He's a true freshman. He has a bright future, but I don't think he's going to go on the road and win here. But Sharon Moore's team, they're disciplined, good defense. They're going to put up a fight. They're going to keep this game close for sure, definitely. Oklahoma, though, at home. Big Ten versus SEC. I think the Sooners have just enough to win the game, but it's going to be decided in the trenches by the defenses. Sooners win 27-23. And our final game on the SEC Network, 7:45, 1-0 UL Monroe versus number 21 Alabama 0-1. Alabama 0-1, number 21. Those things don't make any sense, but it happened in 2025. Kalen DeBoer, you got to get things back on track. Obviously, you're going to win this game, but you need to get that physicality back, and this team needs to stop being pompous. They have a 96.3% chance to win. 37.5 point favorites. You better pass that. You better cover the spread this game. 50.5 over under. Alabama, they could not control the line of scrimmage versus a 2-win Florida State, but give Florida State their respect. They played great that game. Alabama, very disappointing. Number 3 overall roster, according to ESPN. You got to get the pass game going. Grubbs, Ty Simpson, the run game, Ryan Williams. So many weapons here. Get the offense on track, get the defense on track. Bama wins. They cover the spread 45-6. Guys, that's our quick picks for all of our Week 2 college football games. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, leave your comments of your picks below. I will respond. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, click on the pinned comment down below. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.